All right, so we can call the meeting to order at this point. Bryce, you
I
can
guess
take it away.
I guess that's my cue. Welcome everyone. Tonight is Thursday, October 13th. It's now 6:01 p.m. This is the Capital Planning Committee for that date. Want to welcome everyone to the meeting. We have a addended agenda, starting off with Police Chief Boone, who will go over his capital budget request. Chief Boone?
Hi, good evening. So we did get an increase in, well, let me go back. Our original capital request was partially funded at Springtown meeting. We did get our tasers, which were $142,500 was funded, which we actually just purchased. So that remaining balance of $174,500 was for our new cruisers and the laptops mounts that are associated with them. So we re-quoted because we knew things were changing, and the new quote, the cars did go up. So my new cost now has reached, I believe, a total amount of $188,977 for the cars. So there was an increase. I don't know if you have the revised memo. I can forward it to you if not.
No, we have it. Thank you, Chief.
So it's really just the cost of the car itself went up. Good news is we did change to all 6 cylinders now to comply with the green initiative for the gas mileage. So they are a little less expensive, and they will be going forward, but just everything spiked.
Understand. It's like everything else in our world right now. Yep, Chief, this is our normal 3-car request. We're used to putting off until our fall meeting. Does anyone have any questions for the Chief?
On my screen,
Yep, we see it, Wendy.
Yep, we got it.
this is just a listing of all the requests. So the police cruisers, the total's now $192,977 because that 188 also includes $4,000 to install some of the hardware inside the cruisers.
So it'll go up 18,000.
Yep.
It's really not that bad when you consider it's how many cars? 3 cars, yeah.
Yeah, about average of 6,000 per car. Yeah. So,
Chief, what's your turnaround time once you get this approved? Did they tell you?
So they're what they tell us and what happens are 2 different things.
Mm-hmm.
So I wouldn't expect once this is approved, if it is approved at town meeting, we would work on the contract. So usually the first of the year we get them out. We typically don't see them until May. This year we didn't see them until July because they didn't even have the cars to build until late spring. So that's kind of par for the course right now. I'm seeing with other police departments. So I expect we'll see them by July 1. That's my goal.
Thank you, Chief. Any other questions or comments about the police cars? Hearing none. Thank you, Chief. We will pass this on and reevaluate and put on the capital sheet for this upcoming meeting.
Thank you very much.
Pleasure meeting you.
Thank you again.
Thanks, Chief.
We'll see you soon. Thanks again.
And the next item, Wendy, was for the fire department.
Chief Alexander, he's logged in and logged off. He did text me and say he was having an issue with his speakers.
Okay.
Are not working. So we could just take the next item.
All right, the next item on our list is DPW. And did you get a memo, or did you want to read for this, Wendy? Or
so I do have a memo. Let me share the screen. Okay. Basically, this request is it's 2 things. It's to change the amount. Originally, the amount was 56,000. He's now changing it to 60,000. Prices have gone up, and in addition, they were not going to be able to. The original request was for an SUV. They're not only harder to get, but those prices have increased significantly to the point where Dave Field is asking to change his request from an SUV to this 2500 class pickup instead, because it's going to be more affordable and easier to get. The sidewalk tractor is on there also. He thought that you might need additional funds for that. That's why that's referenced, but that was already on the request list at that amount, so there's no change for that.
Okay. Wendy, do we have to re-motion these again? Yeah, I believe.
We can,
At the end?
yeah, we can take a vote at the end.
All right, good enough. All right, so that was. Wendy, what was the DPW amount? I want to make sure I get that correctly.
Oh, sorry, DPW, the amount?
The additional amount they quoted, 60?
Yeah, it went from 56 to 60.
So an extra 4,000, okay.
So, yeah, so I just updated this request list too, which is also in that reading material section. But I updated that once I got the memo. So that's this 4,000 here.
Yep, okay, thank you. I just saw that, thank you. All right, next on our agenda was for the cybersecurity assessment.
Yes.
Which is a new request. I believe everyone, is everyone got a chance to look at, is there someone going to speak about this, or is this going to be you, Wendy?
Voting Michael Tano, the panelist.
I got to experience this firsthand when I opened an email from Stephanie Jensen and it killed my computer.
Oops, sorry.
Do I get reimbursed for that? So we can put it
in me too.
Hey, Mike?
Mike, you there?
Good evening, Mike.
Here he is.
Good evening, Mike. Welcome to the capital planning meeting. The floor is yours to discuss cybersecurity.
Mike, we can't hear you. You're not muted, but we can't hear you.
Hackers got us. There you go.
Still muted. I can see the little symbol.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're muted now.
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Hey,
there you
now
are.
we can hear him.
Oh, there we go. Have to click it on and off a few times.
It's a true IT solution.
Yeah, high tech. This is something that Connor and I have been discussing since July, and recent events with the stolen emails and everything has caused us to accelerate a bit. So we got a estimate from Bulletproof to do an audit of all of our cybersecurity, internal, external, everything, the whole 9 yards. And that came to $71,000 and change. And then in discussions last week, because this whole thing is starting to mushroom up a bit, and it seems like the whole world situation is going to hell a little bit, it sounded like a good idea. We add 50,000, so when they find the low-hanging fruit that doesn't incorporate, buying new equipment and buying new software, things that they can fix on the fly, if they see something on the firewall, if they see, we did this with the VLANs or whatever things they would just recommend and put in a report and not have done until after next July, they'll just do it as they go. So we get a lot of this stuff knocked out of the way. And then in the spring, we'll have to look at the big things that are left, which will all probably incorporate, things like if we have to buy new software or new appliances or.
Oh, Mike, I lost you again.
Back.
I think this is dramatic effect so we can get the numbers up.
Mike, are you being security attacked?
Oh. You're muted.
One more time, Mike.
Okay, I think I'm back.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. The great grammatization of.
Sorry to laugh. It's just so ironic. I get a kick out of it.
So when do I had the 71,3070. Was there an extra 50,000 with that as well? Was it?
Yes, yeah. So that's why the total is 121,370. I will say we are pursuing funding through Bristol County, the American Rescue Plan Act, the ARPA funds. There is broadband infrastructure investment in like making investments in your broadband infrastructure is like an allowable cost. This is a study, but you need to study in order to make your capital improvements. So I think it could qualify. So we put in an application, but we're waiting to hear. If it doesn't get approved, then we would, look to include it in the supplemental capital article for town meeting. But if it does get approved, then it won't go ahead with it, but we won't need to.
There we go.
Hi, Mike.
I'm back.
So, Mike, Wendy was just filling us in about possible.
Keep going, Wendy. Oh, no.
No, Mike, no volume. Nope.
No, we just can't hear you.
So Mike, Wendy was saying there was possible opera funds that we might be going after for this, and your total ask is 121 and change.
70. So yeah, so this would be an addition. So we would just be seeking, obviously, to include it in the capital plan and assign it a priority ranking.
Which we can do. Mike, is there anything you could add to chat if you want to make sure we have something, or are we covered? Where's our chat in here? I don't even know. I'm sorry, Wendy. I should have said that first.
There's a Q&A.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I mean, I honestly, I think we've covered everything. Mike, is there anything that you need to add? Okay.
Read your lips on that one.
Well, Mike, it was nice seeing you pop in and out. Mike, we can't hear you. I apologize.
I can't hear you, but
we have your request, and we will prioritize amongst the capital planning for the next meeting.
okay.
Thank you. I'll Paul as well. All right.
Was he trying to hit us up for a computer for his house?
Actually, I got some unsolicited email with a crazy link from Jennifer Carlino just the other day. She's like, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm like, I didn't open the link, that's for sure. So
I had one from Stephanie. It was a response to one I had sent, so it made all the sense in the world to open it. I did.
yeah, it's the same. It was the same.
Then I discovered it was a mistake, but it was too late. It crashed my
Welcome, Chief
computer.
Alexander.
Oh no. Yeah, I mean, usually, sometimes I peek at them, but I mean, I don't click any links or open any attachments.
Thank you for your patience, Chief. Welcome to the Capital Planning Committee, and the floor is yours to discuss your budget requests.
Absolutely. Can you hear me? I want to check my audio.
You sound great.
Okay. Yep.
All right, good. I had audio trouble too. I had to go to a backup laptop to get on tonight, so I guess it's going around. So we're here. So no, thank you for having me on tonight. The two capital items before you are a vehicle and our radios. The vehicle, both were on previous capital. The vehicle, although not necessarily prioritized out of the last time, I proposed bringing it up again for the special this year, just due to the lead time on these vehicles. We're at 18 months to get this vehicle from the day we order it, and we're at risk of missing the following cycle of vehicles, which will push it out even further. They just can't get the computer chips and parts, and And then on top of that, not only just getting the vehicle, but we have to order all the lights and sirens, and those are all back ordered too. So given that our newest vehicle will have 90,000 miles when if this is approved, the new one comes in, and we pass these vehicles down to prolong their life from more miles to less miles spots. We want to try to preserve this vehicle before there's not any life left to it to pass down. So that's the real premise behind asking you to consider it for this special, is that although it's still in good running order, it's approaching a higher mile point, and we want to get it through because we have a fleet maintenance program and a fleet replacement program to prolong their lives, and we want to try to stay on it as much as possible. So respectfully, we're asking you to consider that item for the special. And then our radios, if there's any questions on that, I'll take those if you would like.
So Chief, this is going to be the card that's going to be, is it going to be your card, Chief, and you're hitting it down, your card?
Yeah, so I put the most miles on out of anybody. So they start with me, and they'll spend, a period of time, usually 3 to 4 years with me. And then they'll go to our fire prevention captain, who will put the next amount of miles on. Then it will become a staff car, which is more just around town, not as much. It goes to the fire academy for classes, new recruits that go to the academy. We hand them down less miles, less wear as they get older. It's good for them. So yeah, this vehicle would start with me, and then when in subsequent capital down the line, it would be just passed down.
And Chief, when's the last time the car's been replaced currently?
So the one we're really trying to deal with is the fact that the oldest one's a 2012. Mine's a 19 with 60,000 miles on it. And over 18 months, it'll have 90,000 miles before the next one comes in, and that'll push the 2012 even further up. So it's not just the newness of mine versus it's really what's on the other end and what are we trying to do with that as well.
Okay. Thank you for clarifying. I appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Is there any other questions for the Chief? Okay.
I just wanted to comment too that because of the significant lead time, that is why we're looking to fund this at the special town meeting instead of moving it off to the annual town meeting, because on the prioritization list, it was listed as a defer, not even to the fall, but to the next year. And I think there might have been a little miscommunication there too, because the chief was under the impression that it was getting deferred to the fall. That coupled with the fact that there is a significant lead time, we're looking to add that, into the prioritization numbering.
Thank you, Wendy, for the clarification. And Chief, there was an upgrade on the radios, or upgrading costs, I should say.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, I think we're all facing that in our lives. So there are a couple of moving pieces with the radios. We back up a couple of years. The SEMREC group, which is Foxborough, Norton, Mansfield, and us, applied for a regional radio grant to try to pay for these through federal funds, and that was not approved. We elected to go on our own this year, and the other 3 communities, because our radios are the oldest of the 3 towns, of the 4 towns rather, and we elected to go on our own, thinking that we would have a higher approval rate given the age and condition of our radios. They're in the last round, and we have not been approved. At this point, usually you get some type of reach out of indication that something's coming, and we haven't. And I'll also tell you that the regional grant for the other 3 communities who tried a regional again is also in the same boat. So it doesn't look like anybody's getting radios, and within a week they'll be done. So we'll, well ahead of the special, we would know if this was approved or not. But at this point, very low chance, unless there's a surprise next week, of this happening. As a result, the plan was to intentionally push this off to the fall to see what happened with the grant. We had priced it out, and now we had repriced it because of the time difference between midwinter last year and now, and we've seen the price go up about $20,000, which is in line with inflation, unfortunately, and the lack of supplies and supply chain issues. So not a small amount that it goes up, but relative to the project, it's in line with what I think we're all seeing in our lives, unfortunately. So that's this would outfit our trucks and our portable radios that we carry on us. We are fortunate that as part of joining SEMREC, our radio infrastructure, which is even more expensive, is being taken care of through various means through SEMREC. So that's a great thing. We don't have to bring the capital for all of you, but the portables and our truck radios are still our responsibility, and that's across all 4 towns. So that's the price change, and the status of our radios hasn't changed since the spring. But I'd certainly take any questions if you want some more background on why we feel this is an important ask.
No, Chief, we have a full understanding of that. We had it very high on our priority list, and we continue to have that high prioritized to make sure these guys hopefully get pushed through.
Appreciate that very much.
Does anyone have any other questions or comments for the Chief? Seeing none? Chief, we thank you so much for your time tonight.
Thank you very much for having me. Take care,
Have a
everyone.
great evening.
Chief.
All right, let's see.
Okay.
So, Wendy, can you bring up that the sheet one more time so we can do a one-time approval or request?
So, okay, yeah, so we'll need to take a couple of votes.
Yep.
So we need a vote to amend the amounts.
Yep.
We need a vote to accept the change for DPW in the type of vehicle.
Mm-hmm. We need one to undefer, or at least put it into the rankings for the fire car.
Right.
And then we need to put one in for the cybersecurity as well.
Yes. Yep.
Okay. So I'm just going to go off my priority listing, Wendy, then, from what I have in paper.
Mm-hmm.
First, I can't make the motion. Will someone please make a motion for the fire department radios from $300,000 to $320,000 for capital planning purposes?
So moved.
May I have a second?
Second.
Second it.
Thank you. Okay, I have to do my roll call. All those in favor? Strange?
Aye.
Murphy?
Aye.
Wendy?
Well, yes.
And Bloomwald, yes. Am I supposed to be taking notes tonight?
No, Roseanne's here. I didn't promote her to panelist.
All right. That motion passes unanimously. All right. Second one is. Let's see,
Cruisers.
Hmm?
We can do the cruisers.
Yep. Thank you. Police cruisers. That was. Well, I'm sorry. When you have that amount, went from. Can I have a motion to increase the amount for 3 cruisers from $174,500 to $192,997? Is that correct, please?
977.
Yep. 191. Yep. Sorry. Yep. Correctly. 196,977.
192,977. The 4,000's already included in that.
Oh, okay. 192,977. Okay. Can I have a motion, please, so I don't have to say that again?
So moved with a question mark?
All right, so one more time. I'd like to have someone make a motion to increase the funding for the police cruisers from $174,500 to $192,997.
So moved. Strange.
Second.
All those in favor? Strange?
Aye.
Murphy? Lucas, you approve?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm
Wendy?
there.
Okay. And Bloomwald, yes. That was also moved unanimously. Next is the change of the Dpw vehicle.
You can make that motion if you want.
Thank you.
So I move that we approve the request of the DPW director to change the type of vehicle and also amend the amount. And this is the replacement of the 2015 Explorer from 56,000 to 60,000.
May I have a second for that?
Second.
All those in favor? Murphy?
Aye.
Strange?
Aye.
Wendy?
Gail, yes?
Yep, and Blumall, yes. All right, Wendy, how about one for the fire vehicle?
I make a motion, or I move that we change the priority for the new staff car for the fire department for 58,000, that we move that into the ranking. And I mean, we can just add it on at the end. Sorry,
Yeah, we can re-rank afterwards. Just take, if we could just have a motion to take it out of deferred.
move it into the ranking.
Yep. May I have a second for that?
Second, Strange?
Okay, thank you. All right. May I have Strange already approved? Yay. Murphy?
Yay.
Nightingale?
Yes?
And Blumall, yes. That is also approved unanimously. The last one we need is for the cybersecurity, I believe. Wendy, if you would make a motion?
I move that we include the cybersecurity assessment as part of the capital plan, and that the discussion to determine where it will be in the ranking.
May I have a second?
Second, Strange?
All those in favor? Strange?
Aye.
Murphy?
Aye.
Nightingale?
Gail, yes?
And Blumall, yes. That is also so moved. I believe that takes care of all of the pieces that we need to vote on. Is that correct?
So yeah, it's just a matter of where we're going to
Ranking.
put it in the ranking. And I mean, we can, as long as they're in the ranking, I mean, I think at this point, it's not really necessarily going to matter
Okay.
where we put it. I mean, it's less disruptive to all the numbering if
All right.
we
So
just at the end.
in that case, if we can have, well, technically that other one, the fire vehicle's already in the rank. No, it's not numbered. So to move it, can someone make a motion to move fire chief car from deferred to, what's the last number we have?
26.
So we don't do it. We have to make a vote for that, right? So I just move it to 26. Any questions or comments about doing that?
So, I mean, I think I'd probably do the cybersecurity one first and just add, I mean, if you want to add it to the end as number 27,
Mhm.
and the car is 28.
So
I mean, honestly, like, I mean, the cybersecurity one is like a top priority, but
if you want us to, that's up to you, Wendy. I know you guys go through the list anyways. If you want us to move it up, I figured the cybersecurity would go right under the fire radios, but under existing requests. But
I could go either way.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
at the end, it's going to get done at the end of the day, one way or another.
So they have a motion to put cybersecurity at 27 and the fire vehicle at 28.
So moved.
I didn't
Second.
want to hug them all. Second.
All right, I'm gonna go through my list again. Strange,
Aye.
Murphy,
Aye.
Nightingale. And do you approve?
Yeah, Nightingale, yes.
And Blumall.
I
And Blumall, yes. Also approved unanimously. So we have our rankings done. And do we need to discuss the article for town meeting, Wendy, or is that just?
I just figured I would put it on the agenda just to discuss it. So in terms of, like what we're thinking. So if you look at the list, on page 2, right? I mean, you've got, there's obviously quite a bit, and quite a bit is getting deferred. I mean, a big part of that $6 million number is the school security modifications to 3 of the schools. So that one is getting deferred. But I just wanted to maybe comment on some of these, you know, obviously police cruisers, we're definitely going to do. The radios are a priority. The cybersecurity audit is definitely a priority. The security design is still being worked on at this time. So, I mean, that would get deferred. The SU, well, not the SUV anymore, but the vehicle for DPW, we do want to try to fund that. School technology, where there'll be some funding for that, maybe not the full amount. There is still some money left over from a prior appropriation, so we're working that number out with the school department. The annual replacement of town computers, that's usually one that will definitely get funded. And the electric vehicles, I mean, you just can't even get those. So, I mean, that's going to get deferred. Town pool repair and maintenance, we would look to, you know, seek funding for that if possible, because they're going to need to make those, any adjustments that they make, they're going to need to make those before they open. And they open in June, so. Facilities capital improvements. Oh, sorry, the sidewalk tractor is next. So, I mean, we're gonna try to, you know, see if we can afford that. We're still working out what the modifications are gonna be to the budget and everything. My goal is to try to do a capital budget that does not, I would like to see what we can do. We're anticipating, a healthy free cash certification. Again, probably, you know, close to 4 million. So we've got to save some of that for stabilization, some of that for the operating budget, but there will be more than what we typically spend for capital this fall. Because want to do too much, you know, don't want to do too much borrowing, because we do have some other bigger ticket items that are going to be coming along. In a later year, it's not on this plan, but I know we are going to be needing like a ladder truck. Those are very expensive. So again, trying to just, if we can do it from available, that's what we're going to try to do, and not to do any borrowing. So I'm going to try to afford the holder. Municipal facilities capital improvements will probably be deferred. The tennis courts, that's up for CPA. There's an application for that. So we are hoping that will be, you know, a CPA funding, but that wouldn't go until the spring anyway. So that would get deferred. Cybersecurity, and then the staff car for fire prevention. So that's where it's at.
Wendy, did you mention the school computers and projectors? Are that being covered?
Well, I'm sorry, what?
The school computers and projectors, was that covered as part of the computers for the town, or is that a different? Yeah, so it's probably not going to be the full amount. That okay. We're working that number out with the school department now. Okay. But what they do need, there is some money left over from one of the appropriations. So between that and what the needs are is what the request will end up being. So there'll be something, but probably not the full amount. Okay, thank you.
That was my CPA alarm. So I have to, we're done voting, right?
Yep.
Right, so I don't mean to it's okay if I bug out. I have to get to the junior high for CPC.
I mean, honestly, at this point, I think we can wrap up the meeting. I put minutes on the agenda, but we don't have any right now, so we can.
If that's the case, I'll make a motion to adjourn. May I have a second?
I didn't mean to end the party so early. Sorry.
All those in favor?
It's okay. I have to go too.
Strange eye.
Murphy?
Murphy, yes.
Nightingale? And Blumwald, yes. Thank you. Thank you all. Wendy, thanks for putting it together. Good luck with your next meeting.
Thank you all. I know it was, tough to try to get this together and everything. So I really appreciate you guys taking the time so that we could get this taken care of.
Problem.
Our
My
pleasure.
pleasure.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks everyone.
So,
Yeah, bye.
good night.